Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, guys. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, my goodness. How's it going? How's it going? I want to get real, of course, right? Like, do I know how to be any other way? I don't think so. We're going to talk about perception today, particularly when it comes to things like crisis and what that does to us. Okay. We have this amazing power within us, and it is perception. Okay, when you think of having a happier, more successful life, what do you see? What beautiful picture comes to your mind? The nice part is that beautiful picture that comes to your mind is likely a very different image that might come to someone else's mind. That's because of perception. It is our very unique interpretation of how we view the world, of how we view different situations, different circumstances. It's not the actual situation itself, right? It's how we view it. Every person's view is different. I can view an event, a circumstance, an environment, and then I can express my beliefs, my habits, my limitations, and you would do the same. Fortunately, you have the power to substantially improve any of the ideas and areas of your life that you're unhappy with. I've seen it so many times. If you're going to create your own environment and live the way you really want to live, free of chaos, free of all the things that aren't serving you, you have to start tapping into your mental faculties, and perception is one of them. Perception is your way of looking at something. Okay? My mentor, Bob Proctor, he always tells this story about a guy named Raymond Sanford. This happened like back in the 60s. What he did was he put an R on a sheet of paper with two H's and a W beside it. Now he then says, let the R represent your results. The two H's stand for happiness and health, and the W stands for wealth. And he asked Bob, do you think I'm a happy person? Bob said, yeah, I think so. Ray said, have you seen me sick? He goes, no, don't think so. Ray asked, have you ever seen me without any money? Bob says, no, I haven't. So then Ray got real and told him that he thought that Bob was one of the most miserable people he'd ever met. He says, you're never healthy. You always have a backache or cold or something. You're always broke. Why don't you change this? And this was the beginning of Bob's career in personal development. He always says, I was making $4,000 and I owed $6,000. It was his first time that he was told that you can have anything you want, but you're going to have to change the way that you're looking at your life. If you were always seeing the chaos, the crisis, you cannot see the solution. Do you know what I mean? Right? If you're always looking at the fact that, oh, I never went to school, I don't have any business experience, we're in the middle of a pandemic, my kids are home, the sky is blue. I don't know. Like we always seem to find a reason on why we're not doing what we want to do, right? But the problem isn't that you lack education or lack experience with money. The problem is the perception. You're looking at yourself and the circumstances around you in the wrong way. And if you change your point of view, your whole world can change. Think of your own life, guys. How could your life change if you just changed the way you were looking at it? Because I can tell you now Bob has millions of dollars, a very successful business, operates in countries all over the world, right? As humans, we are not fixed. Just because our paradigms are formed in those first 8 years of our life, they don't have to stay there like that forever. Right? Unlike animals, the dog laying at my feet, you have the power to change your environment. We don't have to blend in with a world that doesn't support us in being our best. Let's face it, our world is set up for mediocrity. You don't want that? Do something about it. Do something different. But it's going to come down to the way that you're thinking. But by using your mental faculties, I'm not telling you something that you don't know. You're like, oh, I know I have the power of perception. I get that. But are you using it? Are you getting like sucked into the vortex of the way everybody else is thinking? You don't have to settle for your current results. You don't have to stay in crisis mode all the time, perpetual crisis. Forget not getting results. Think of what that's doing to your body when your nervous system is in just this complete state of ugh all the time. How's that for a medical term? Right? If you're not happy, healthy, wealthy, and you want to be, this is where you get to take a step back and look at your situation from a different perspective. Instead of seeing it the way the masses do, see your life through an entirely different lens. And one of the best ways I know to do this is to recreate your self-image, to create a life script, one that expands you, that helps you grow. Okay, I've written out my script, and honestly, I listen to it first thing in the morning. It's about 28 minutes long now. I listen to it every single morning. Right? You don't have to be unhappy, anxious, unhealthy, any of that. And you might even say, you know what, Dylan, I'm actually I'm pretty pleased with the way my life is going right now. And that's fine. But I still encourage you to shake things up a bit. Don't wait till you're not pleased, right? Build a new model by designing this script for yourself. What is your end goal? And don't tell me retirement. That's not a goal. I feel like I've heard that a few times this week. So whoever's meant to hear this right now, retirement is not your goal. It's not a goal. Like what are you going to retire from, life? No, you're retiring from maybe where you worked for the last 30 years, whether that job was serving you or not serving you. You're not retiring from life. That's why you see people retire and then within a year they're like sick because they don't have a purpose. They feel like they don't have a purpose. Fine. You have you weren't born to not have a purpose. You have a purpose right now. And if you're feeling drained at the end of the day, it's because you're not working in your purpose. That's the truth. Okay? Write out your script. And guys, this is when everything changes. And you get to change your perception. Remember that law of opposites that I talk about. Everything has a positive and a negative. But when all of the energy is running to and through us, it's hanging out up here. It's not positive or negative. But then it hits our conscious mind, right? We see, hear, smell, taste, and touch it, and boom, we make it positive or negative. Every situation, every situation, every single one that you come in contact with throughout your day is both positive and negative. You have to find the positive in it. And when you can do that, when you can live your life from that perspective, this increases your belief. Your belief in yourself, your belief in humanity, your belief that you can be, do, and have anything that you desire. You have the ability to move through crisis and in the process completely improve your health with a different perception, right? Like, think about this. If you have health issues right now, I want you to lean in, okay? Really think about what affects your health. Your genes, your environment, the food you eat. Yes, all those things. But each of those things plays a role in how healthy your body is. But here's the thing, you're not your body. You're a spirit, we know this, with an intellect living in a physical body. This is just my meat stick that I borrowed for like 100 years, and then I'm going to move out of it. Grateful for my meat stick. I take care of it. But that's what it is. I'm not my body. There's something far bigger that plays a huge role here. And maybe you've heard that thought or perception can cause every single problem that we ever have. Right? I know, but maybe some of you are first just hearing like, oh man, I guess I'm not my body. Like, you're not your name, right? Like, your parents gave you your name, but you can change it, right? Like, I could go down to the courthouse right now and I could become Princess Consuela Banana Hammock if I wanted to. I could. I can change my name. I can change my body, right? I could go sign up for plastic surgery right here, right now. And I could change the results I get. But that has nothing to do with my body. It has everything to do with my mind and my thinking. Your human body is an instrument of the mind. It will do whatever the mind tells it to do, whether the thoughts are deliberately chosen or whether they're habitual. And I'm here to tell you 96 to 98% of what your body does is habitual. Right? So thinking negative thoughts or making unhealthy choices hurt our body and eventually will then make us really sick. Since the mind is the master, though, if sick thinking would cause your body to break down, wouldn't healthy thinking cause your body to grow strong? Does that make sense? Especially when you think about it, how your body is constantly recreating itself, right? The body you're living in today is not the same body that you're going to be living in a year from now, 7 years from now, right? Like, you can get rid of diseased cells and create healthy new cells. I love to talk about this topic. But unfortunately, most people think that they think the same things over and over and over again, day after day after day. So they get rid of these diseased cells only just to recreate more. As humans, we're not like everybody else. Nature designed the cells in most other organisms to adapt to their environment. Evolution. These cells directly read the environment and then they adjust their genetics accordingly. And this allows the cells to stay alive in really diverse and dynamic environments. But our human cells do not read the environment. Instead, we have a nervous system. And it reads the environment, interprets it, and then sends out signals to our cells. So it's not always our environment that controls our cells, it's our perception of the environment. Okay? Think about that. This is the power that perception has. Your perception creates your reality. But sometimes your reality, whether it's your health, your finances, your relationships, might not be what you want. So what do you do about that? Perception. Remember, perception is your point of view. It's how you interpret the world. It's how you see things. Do you notice at no point did I say your perception is how I see things, so I should like push my views on you and make your nervous system go like, do you notice how I did at any point suggest that? Yet that's what's going down. Other people start putting their 2 cents into your life, your business, your bank account, what you should do with your life, how you should handle things, what you should or shouldn't do with your body, and then your nervous system, because your perception of that conversation, that circumstance, whatever, makes it go, right? Like your perception is based on your beliefs. And guys, it will impact every single area of your life. Okay, beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. They allow us to take in all of our experiences in our lives and create a meaning that disempowers us or one that can save our lives. The problem is that most of us accept our beliefs without taking the time to uncover and really analyze them. So I suggest that you take time to really look at your beliefs. What are your beliefs about your life, about your work, about your health, about your relationships, about your bank account? What do you believe? Ask yourself, why do I believe this? Where does this belief come from? Why do I believe that I can't alter any of it? Why do I believe that these people have so much power over me? Why? Does it make sense? Ask yourself, do I have any foundation for this belief? And remember, as humans, we are here to either create or disintegrate. And you can't do both at the same time. You are either creating or you're disintegrating. You might be disintegrating slowly. You might be saying, oh, I didn't create anything today. We're always creating. But if you're constantly creating things that aren't serving you, this is going to lead you in a downward spiral quickly. When you discover that your beliefs have no foundation and do not serve you, you need to change them. And when you do, you change the world that you live in. It improves everything. Not just your mind and your thinking and the results you get, but because your body is just doing what your mind says, it's going to improve your health. right? Take the results you're getting, even if they're so negative, and I want you to write out how they are and then write out the opposite. How do you want them to be? But all of this right now, guys, is an inside job. It's not up to anybody else. Nobody else can actually do this for you. They can't. It's impossible. I don't say that very often. Everybody has to own their own results. If you don't like your circumstances, change them. You can rewrite everything you want anytime that you choose, but it's all triggered by decision. Right? Like I literally altered the course of my entire life when I began to really dive into this. Not just like when I put down the book, because guys, I read all the books, went to all the courses, listened to all the podcasts. I was taking everything in. I was fascinated. Fascinated. I would have told you I am a personal growth junkie. I was fascinated by this stuff. So cool. But it wasn't until I studied it and got a coach to hold me accountable to it, when I set real goals and stopped making excuses for myself. I was an excellent blamer. I could blame anybody, anything. And that's why my results were the way they were. Guys, success leaves clues. And I'm telling you, the success that I've seen in the last 2 years, it's leaving clues. And I'm telling you them, right? But it's not enough for me to tell you them. You have to take action on them. Success is a habit. Health is a habit. I can tell you, dis-ease in your body, that's a habit too. However, you create a new habit through repetition. And you can do that through reprogramming your mind. Even if you initially think it's a lie, that you can cure yourself, that you're going to get better if you tell yourself often enough, eventually you'll believe it, right? You guys are incredible, miraculous humans that live in this amazing system. You have an ingenious system built within you to keep your body in excellent working condition. As humans, we should be living till we're like 120 years old. But not only are we like the life expectancy is like 40 years less than that, we're actually starting to decline. We've got all the health advancements. We're doing transplants now. We've got therapies. We've got all this stuff. And yet our life expectancy is dropping. Why do you think that is? Think critically. Like, think about it. Whether you're like a really left brain logical thinker, or whether you're just like, I'm following my intuition. Think about it. Why do you think that we're not living as long as we should in our bodies? And in the last 5 years, the life expectancy every single year has been dropping. Why do you think that is? It's not because we don't have science. We have lots of science showing us things we could or couldn't do, right? Like my daughter has type 1 diabetes, diagnosed at 2. She wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for fake insulin running through her body. So I get the power of science. So it's not that. What is it? Could it be our mindset? Could be the fact that we are setting our nervous systems on fire because we are living in constant crisis mode, fight or flight. You get to decide. But you have this ingenious system that's keeping your body alive. You get to decide what your thoughts look like. Okay? If you start to suppress negative thoughts, because that's not what I'm saying, it's going to throw your system out of whack. Right? That's the thing. When we are feeling fear, ignorance in the conscious mind, not knowing, fear in the subconscious mind, anxiety, we never express anxiety, we suppress it. And then when we suppress it, it knocks our system out of whack. These feelings have to be expressed somehow. And they'll express themselves in false growths if you don't let them. Guys, awareness is the name of the game here. And most people hope that they'll do better, but that's the universe doesn't respond to hopes and wishes. You've got to believe you're going to get better. You've got to know it. And belief comes from knowledge. And that's the power to alter the course of your health, your life, your relationships, your bank account, everything. It also comes from understanding the laws of the universe, understanding the relationship between the mind and the body, understanding what causes illness and dis-ease, understanding the primary causes, the root cause, and then dealing with it there. There's a quote that I absolutely love. It says, healing of the physical without the change of the mental and spiritual aspects brings little real help to the individual in the end. How true, because the mind and the body imprint and imitate each other. What we think, we become. What we become, we think. It's insidious. It's this process that can predispose us to illness, or it can lead us to health. You can heal yourself. That's the truth. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't. We have tons of examples of people that have healed themselves naturally too. Imagine that. Right? I encourage you not to stay just fascinated with this material. Guys, I have been exposed to this and have been a personal growth junkie for 20 years. 20 years. And it wasn't until the last 5 when I started studying that I actually started getting the results that I want. And now that I know how to get them, I can't unlearn it. I can't go back. This is why I can't stop talking to you guys about it, because I'm going like, I just want to like shake you. Be like, wake up. Wake up. You have this inside of you. You and I are built from the exact same stuff. And if I can do it, you can do it. Borrow that belief. Okay? I went from like hot mess, stressed out, to not as much of a hot mess and never stressed out. Right? I don't know if that's very good advertising. But you have an opportunity to really make an impact on your life. And I am going to encourage you to really dive into this. And I'm going to put a link in the chat so that you can schedule a call. It's free. Just schedule a call so that we can start identifying your goals. Because if you don't know where you're going, what's the point? All right. Thanks so much for joining me. Always a pleasure. Hello on Facebook.